Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the list of people that were at the killing of Tyre Nichols seems to be endless. So now there is a fourth Memphis Fire Department employee that is under investigation for their involvement in Tyre Nichols' death. I mean, it's like, who was there? Like 100 people? So, new details emerged at the city council meeting, and this was one that they had this past Tuesday. And the council wanted an update on the Memphis Police Department internal investigation following the death of Tyre Nichols. Jennifer Sink, the city chief legal officer, informed councilors of a fourth Memphis Fire Department employee is being investigated for his involvement in Nichols' death. I mean, I just can't believe the amount of people that were there. And remember, there's still an internal investigation of other police officers that were at the scene. So that investigation is still going on, but they said they expect that investigation to be over soon. So it might even be the end of this week or beginning of next week. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
Tonight in the Memphis Police Department's internal investigation following the death of Tyre Nichols. Good evening, I'm Joe Birch.
And I'm Joy Redmond. Internal hearings are happening for 7 unknown officers allegedly involved in the January 7th traffic stop. We have also learned a fourth Memphis Fire employee has been given a notice of violations.
Now, all this came to light in this morning's Memphis City Council committee meeting, and our Parker King was there. Parker?
Yeah, Joy, 3 of those unnamed 7 officers had their internal hearing this past Friday, and the remaining 4 are scheduled to have theirs tomorrow. The city says it's possible this internal investigation could end in the next 2 weeks. Back before City Council, Memphis police leaders gave an update on the investigation surrounding Tyre Nichols. The 29-year-old died in the hospital on January 10th, 3 days after a violent apprehension by Memphis police during a traffic stop. Jennifer Sink, the city's chief legal officer, spoke on behalf of MPD.
The internal investigation in this situation's actually moved quite swiftly, especially when you consider the number of people that have been involved.
6 Memphis police officers have been fired for their roles in the arrest. 5 facing second-degree murder charges. 7 unknown officers are still under investigation. Sink revealed some of the additional 7 are MPD supervisors.
This investigation was not limited to officers responding to the scene. We did a very thorough investigation to examine everybody's role.
City councilors had questions.
Are there any other officers or city employees currently under investigation?
Sink said a 4th Memphis Fire employee is under investigation. 3 others, 2 EMTs and a lieutenant, have already been fired.
Came much later, provided medical care, and transported Mr. Nichols to the hospital. That 4th employee, we have not come to a final decision as to the decision on action against him.
The city council is also requesting proposals from Memphis Police and Fire for reform within both departments.
We've got to keep working on this together so we can make our department do what we needed to do as a city and what you guys wanted to do as police officers.
Now, a reminder that only disciplinary action can come from this internal investigation in the form up to termination from the city for these employees. Right now, any criminal charges would have to come from the ongoing investigations by the DOJ and the TBI. Sink did not rule out the possibility that more city employees could be involved in this investigation. Live in downtown Memphis, Parker King, Action News 5.
All right, so this seems to be another first responder that was on the scene and they stood around and did nothing. It's almost like you had the beating going on and then you had a group of police and EMTs and fire department employees just all standing around like they were at some type of sporting event. Okay. So they said this person came much later, provided medical care, and transported Nichols to the hospital. So we know he died on the 10th after being violently, really and unlawfully apprehended by the police during a traffic stop in Hickory Hill, which was the name of that community he lived in, Tyre Nichols. So Sink said this unknown FPD employee had already been seen by an internal panel that reviewed all alleged policy violation, and they said they have not come to a conclusion. So the most severe disciplinary action they may be looking at is termination. Any criminal charges in particular would come from the ongoing investigation, as you heard in the video, from Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Justice Department. Yes, the Justice Department is involved, which means federal charges are going to be coming for a lot of these folks. So, wow. So that makes a total of the number of Memphis PD personnel 13. So 6 officers we know have been terminated, but only 5 have been charged. And that one we already know is Preston Hemphill. So far has not been charged. The police chief, which you also saw in the video, she was present during this committee meeting, later giving updates on the city's crime statistics for the year. Okay, so they said during and after the meeting that she would not be taking questions on Tyre Nichols' investigation. Sink also said that MPD supervisors, listen to this, y'all, it wasn't just those cops, but the supervisors of those cops were also at the scene. So much for calling a supervisor to get involved. The supervisors were there. I mean, this thing is turning out to be a big disgrace. I mean, this is just ridiculous. So Sink also said that MPD supervisors, so it was more than one, are among the 7 still under investigation. The investigation was not limited to officers responding to the scene, Sink said. We did a very thorough investigation to examine everybody's role. It is possible that we will still have some additional officers that are under investigation. So, as Sink said, it turns out that there are no additional personnel involved in Nichols' traffic stop. The city's internal investigation could conclude in around 2 weeks. So, it more than likely maybe sometime next week. I mean, this is just ridiculous. So, is this what y'all do during a traffic stop? Just a massive amount of cops and fire department, deputies, and from the sheriff's office and emergency uh, medical service just all come and just stand around like spectators? Because that's exactly what it sounds like. And if that's the case, they didn't do this just for Tyre Nichols. This is probably something they do all the time. They just got busted this time because Tyre Nichols died. But y'all, please tell me what you think about the investigation still ongoing. And now you got another person from the fire department that could possibly be looking at termination. Wow. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.